Thank you, Madam President, and I thank the leader for permitting us to once again do what I believe is an incredibly important resolution. And Madam President, it's great when you preside, but usually you'd be down here, you'd be able to contribute to our conversation about African American music and how critically important it is and how we celebrate it in the month of June. President Jimmy Carter in June 7, 1979 initially made it Black Music Month, and it has evolved into African American Music Appreciation Month. And much like the day itself has evolved, Black music continues to evolve. We know about jazz and the importance that that had in the Harlem Renaissance. We know about gospel and its importance in the Black church. We know about hip hop, and I'll get more about hip hop. And as we all know, Madam President, other boroughs and places say that they think that they perfected it. But we know where hip hop started. That's in God's country, the Boogie Down Bronx. But, you know, when I think about Black culture and I think about Black music, it's part of our story. It is part of what has been able to push us through tough times and in periods of enslavement, in periods of civil rights, in periods of civil discourse and strife. Music was there for Black folks to be motivated by, and it has helped us shape. Music has helped shape culture, and not just Black culture. Now, if you think about rap, the late great Notorious B.I.G. once said, "You never thought that hip hop would take it this far," and that's accurate. We never thought that we'd see hip hop in mainstream TV commercials. We never thought that we'd see a Snoop Dogg and a Bad Bunny in a commercial. We don't promoting mainstream goods. Hip hop has done amazing things, and hip hop is going to be doing something even more amazing. Madam President, as I mentioned, the birthplace of hip hop, and I was lucky enough to go to the groundbreaking of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. And for something that is a great art form, for something that was born and raised in America, born and raised in New York State, born and raised in the Bronx, we will finally have a museum opening on or about in 2025, which would be incredibly interactive. It'll be a destination point. So people will not only just come to the city of New York, they'll come to the borough of the Bronx, and they'll learn about hip hop. They'll learn about its foundations at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, the beginning, in my good colleague Senator Serrano's district. They'll learn about Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash and Africa Bambaataa and KRS-One. And they'll learn about the hip-hop legends from my district. The great Slick Rick the Ruler, as it would be. One of my constituents. One of my late great constituents, the great Dwight Myers, Heavy D, an incredible artist in his own right. Mount Vernon's own Pete Rock and C.L. Smooth, Jeff Redd, Al B. Sure. The list goes on and on about people who are from my district who have contributed greatly to Black culture and Black music. Chuck Chillout, DJ Chuck Chillout, DJ Funkmaster Flex, and so many other people who are, again, from the neighborhood, who are making impacts on a global business of hip-hop, on the global business of hip-hop music. And I think about when it comes to African-American culture and the ingenuity of being able to take something old and make it new again. And that's something that we've been able to do in hip-hop culture. You've been able to take soul music and either speed it up or slow it down and sample the music so that the next generation can hear some of the music so that it continues to live on. And you think about the Isley Brothers, and you think about Earth, Wind, and Fire, and you think about all of these incredible groups. So many of the folks my age who were not born when they were in their heyday, we hear the music not just in its original form, but in its sampled form via hip-hop. And that takes me to something that's been happening as a result of the pandemic, but it is one of these situations where we take tragedy and turn it into triumph. The series of Verses, which was created by Swiss Beats and Timbaland, an online platform where musical legends are able to appear now in the same room or via virtual video chats, and they're able to play some of their catalogs virtually for their fans. We know about the great Teddy Riley versus Babyface sound debacle. It was one of the most interesting things that happened in Babyface. We know about the Beanie Man versus Live from Jamaica. We know about the Patti LaBelle verses, and the most recent verses that was on my mind was Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Isley Brothers. And when you got to hear some of the stories about the culture and about how they arrived at these moments, and it's something endearing about that culture and where music takes you. Madam President, as I close, I think about what music does for all of us. When we're listening to music, we're not necessarily in a partisan spirit. We're not talking about Democrat versus Republicans. When we all hear a good song, we all sing a good song. And the unifying purpose, the unifying point of black music is something that is incredibly critical, and it's been really important in part of my evolution as an African-American man. So I am grateful once again to the leader for permitting this resolution to come to the floor. And every year, as long as I'm able, I will extol the virtues of African-American Music Month. And I invite everybody within the sound of my voice, as soon as the Hip Hop Museum is started, you got to come on down to the Boogie Down Bronx and check us out, Madam President. Thank you.